Hey guys, sitting by the window for our little window side chat today. I was thinking about how we live with a giant gap in our lives. And it's the gap between what we want and what we do. And in this gap is tension. It's the tension of regret, of resentment, of apathy, as I talked about before. And while we live with this giant gap of what we want to do, and you can feel that tension with what you want to do, you take no action towards doing that, and there's this buzz of something that's unfulfilled. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And have you ever noticed that when you start to close that gap, what you want and what you do, and in that moment when you make the choice to do that thing, whether it's doing the dishes or talking to the girl, suddenly you have this sense of aliveness, right? Because you don't have to sit in that gap where it's almost like a numbing place. It's where you're not actually feeling because you're not actually testing out what you want in the world to see how the world responds to you. And this is, we do this all the time. The gap is filled with thinking, right? This is insane that I would want to do this. This would be unreasonable to do this. These little tiny thoughts that pull you back into this apathetic state of, I don't have to do these things, right? So there's one thing for sure, that when you make a choice towards what you want, and it could be, like for example, years ago, someone asked me about asking if I can ask for what I want. And she asked, she was a coach, and she said, when you get you order a egg salad sandwich and they give you a tuna salad sandwich, what do you do? Well, it was a really good, simple question, but I realized, every time, because I like tuna salad sandwiches, I'll just eat the tuna salad sandwich. But even in that small, just like this giving up to what I actually want, which was egg salad, I am undercutting my own reality and my own desire. So same question goes to you guys. If someone delivers the wrong sandwich to you, do you eat it or do you send it back? Usually, for me, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to upset them. Why would I want to upset the kitchen? Oh, this waitress has been really nice. Why would I want to do that to her? So much concerned about what other people think about me and my sudden desire to eat exactly what I wanted to eat. I had a client last year. We were working as an experience, and we were having lunch, and we were about to go out and try on Social Freedom and talk to girls, and we were talking about this, about that tension. And when that gap closes between want and do, no matter what happens, if you want to talk to that girl and you do, you might get ignored, you might get slapped in the face, you might get a phone number, you might get a date. Who knows what's going to happen? But no matter what happens, either negative or positive, you're going to be filled with a sense of aliveness. Like all the nerves are at the surface, the grief is at the surface, the joy is at the surface. And we were talking about this, and he got very quiet as he finished his lunch. And all of a sudden I looked at him, and he made this little fuck it moment thing where he suddenly got up without any explanation and walked out of the restaurant, and I saw him stop a girl and talk to her. And he comes back and he said, I heard it, I felt that gap, I felt me with the power, at least the ability to cross over that gap. And what happened doesn't really matter what happened with the girl. It's what happened within him. It was this internal shift inside of him. I'm going to check my notes, as I often do. You know, you could try this anytime. Think about these little things that you want to do, things that you have put off doing. Now, it could be something as unpleasant as doing the washing the kitchen floor, or it could be looking out the window and telling a girl who's passing by that she's really pretty. Whatever it is. It could be walking down the streets. I feel like juggling oranges. I just feel like doing something. Well, try doing it, even if it's really tiny, and feel that shift in your internal state of all this internal stuff coming to the surface. It happens every time. Inaction leads to a kind of numbness. Action brings everything to the surface. So that's it. I don't really know what else to say, unless I check my notes, and I'm sure I left out something really, really important. Anyway, make the choice of feeling alive and testing out your internal world against the external world and see how they all come together. That's that gesture for you. All right. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.